So I was looking at this thing, and I'm very happy with it, don't get me wrong, but there are limitations to this build that I do want to try to improve. Speed is definitely something that I want to work on, especially the dispensing of these shulker boxes. And I guess the amount of shulker boxes that we can actually store, because right now we can only do 9 shulker boxes of one kind. And I want to see if I can try to improve that. Okay, so this is the actual modern design that I ended up going for. Uh, yeah, I mean, so it works. It it's decently fast. We had that initial first one that was I think a tick slower, but there are some definite ways that I would want to improve the speed of this one. So, okay, so there's a bunch of observers here that we can definitely remove. We don't need this piston. I feel like this entire up and down sequence just adds a lot of delay. We have the dispenser at the same height. Okay, so we can start with the basic same layout. With the basic same layout. Okay, now what I'm thinking is instead of having it go down like this and have a piston extend, why don't we just have it directly go into a copper bulb, which then we can take the output out of. Yeah, and then just go into a torch. So this is for the dispensing. Oops, forgot that. Okay, so when this receives an item, so a shulker box, it should dispense it out right away. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and it resets the system. Nice. That's significantly faster than this loop. Now the next part is because we use hoppers, we need it to quickly lock the hopper as soon as it receives a signal. So this system would still work for that, and I think it's pretty much unchangeable. So we could easily save another tick by removing that observer. What would we replace it with? Just another one of these. Yeah. Because we can't take it directly out of this, because that won't activate the one underneath. So what we could do is just slap that there and take a comparator output of that, and then just slap that on top. That works. Is that the entire system? I think it is. So that receives an item, spits it out, and it locks it. Yeah, okay, so that works. This system looks a lot faster. It looks a lot faster than this system. Yeah, so that takes a pretty significant amount of time to actually spit it out. And then this one, yeah, that is significantly faster and doesn't need pistons, and it just uses a lot less blocks. So the way we actually reset it is we have a hopper line that comes down from here, and then a hopper line on top. And the way we reset it is through a line that kind of goes down like this. Yeah, so we needed an output from this redstone line that goes into these two observers, and so that goes both down and up to reset it. But for this one, I think we can literally just send a redstone line, yeah, into those rails, and it does both the top and the bottom very easily. So that makes our life a little easier. So let's say it activates. We have the shulker box right there. When we press that, it breaks it, and the system resets, so it's allowing for items again. That seems to have worked quite well. And so this should be a tileable design, because we use the rails. These don't interact with each other, and neither does the bottom. It doesn't. Well, that means that we found... Oops. That means that we found a upgraded version of our dispensing module. It's a lot faster. Now the question is, how fast is it actually? So I'm going to build out a couple more modules, and we'll see exactly what kind of difference it makes. And that should be everything. We just need a line that runs along the top, and then the hopper line at the bottom as well. And that should be the entire thing. That is quite fast to build. Okay, and so for the reset switch, what we said was just a line along the side that goes into a line on top, and that should allow us to reset the entire thing. Now what we need to do is make the redstone clock that actually dispenses everything, which is simple enough. I mean, okay, and so if we add this repeater, we should have a double variable little dispenser. Very nice. And so the old speed is 3.2, so that's how fast the old one fires. I think we tried 2.2 on this one, at least for the first test. So we need 5 shulkers. So 5 shulker boxes. That is very fast. I feel like we actually have... I feel like we can actually lower that. So 2-1. Let's try this one. 2, 3. Oh, that is really fast. I think that might be the limit though. Do I dare try 1-1? This will be significantly faster if this works. 4, 5. Wow. Okay, so this system is what is that? Like 3 ticks faster? 3 ticks faster per shulker box than the old system, which is just actually amazing to see. Do I just try having it do it at hopper speed? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it cannot do hopper speed because then it sucks it in too quickly. So our limit is 2 ticks. That is absolutely amazing. I think, like, if you compare it to the old version, this is the old version where we can do the same amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is so much faster. It is unbelievable how much faster it is. That is a much better system. So the dispensing system that we've been using for like the storage of our boxes isn't bad. I think it can definitely be sped up, but it's not bad in essence. Yeah, so the basic idea of how it works is you receive your signal from the lectern. So the basic shape is fine. I just want to lower it 1 block. So with the locking mechanism, we need a way to ensure that this hopper is locked when we want it to be locked. So when this dispenser isn't up, it needs to be locked. We should move this down. I think we move this down so that we can have a block that's retractable here. So those blocks then get pulled down from here. So what that means is when we turn this on, which we could just do for now with a lever. When we turn this on with a lever, it should begin dispensing. But what we want now is a system to lock the hopper. Oh, right, and what we said was we didn't want just 9 shulker boxes. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to add a chest right here, with a hopper going into it. And then what we can do is, I think if we lock this hopper when it's inactive, that should be fine, which means this one should not be active. So if we just make the same system, so now we have a system that, if I'm correct, okay, so now we have a system that should work the same as the other one. It's just a lot more compact, uses less blocks, and it should work. I mean, in as a tileable design. So right now it's set to 1, so you can see this one is on, which means if we turn this one on, only the first one should be shooting. And then once we switch it to 2, it should lock the first one, the second one should be unlocked, and the second one should be shooting. Okay, so this is a nice... yeah, so this is a nice compact version of this design, but better. And what it does have is a lot more storage. So what that means we can do is, instead of having the 9 shulker boxes that we had before, what it means is we can, what is that, 27 shulker boxes in if we wanted to. It goes all the way up to, like, you know, as many shulker boxes as would fit in this. And so if we turn this on now, it would dispense out all of them, including what's in here, and it's quite a lot faster. One thing I did just notice is that because of the hopper speed coming from the chest to the dropper, we might want to see if we can change it. Because I feel like if we move the chest up here, then we can have double hopper speed, which should be able to keep up with it. Okay, so if we move that up here, how would we lock these top ones? Would that just be like this? So right now it should be locked. No, right now it should be unlocked. Which means that this one should be locked if we have both systems working. Because it's set to 1, right? It is, okay. So just like that, we should have double hopper speed. So that should be a lot faster, which is very nice. Let's see the difference. So now that they're all filtered in, and we activate it, the entire thing stays at a dropper speed. Okay, nice. So that means it's working. So this will be our final design then. Nice. Okay, so we can actually use this. We can use that alongside this one to make a much faster water stream based system. And that's very exciting. I'm gonna build one up very quick. So, what we need now is a water stream, which is actually going to take these items to the loading system. Alright, then we just need to put a line of blocks here so they don't shoot out. And that should be good. Alright, we can test it out real quick. So that would be page 1. Send over the items. They all end up going this way. Nice. Before, we had 4 of these systems each, because the max that they could hold per module, these are the storage modules, the max they could hold was around 250,000 blocks. Now, we have a system that can hold significantly more than that. And the cool thing is, we don't need more than one system. Unless we want like a really absurd amount of shulker boxes. So what we could do is just use this as a singular kind of storage cell and just have a lot of this version of loading system, because we only really need one input and output. So I think we do that. So here's our little loading area. I think we could just start sorting, no? So the first thing we should start with is the dispensers. So the dispensers will be, if this is head level, they'd be 2 blocks from head level. And this is where the first one would be. So we'll have 10 right here. It's 33, whatever. So we'll go for 33. The nice thing about the storage system is you can make it as big as you want. I'm gonna go for 33 because I think it is a nice scale and that it could look quite cool. So from the center point, you'll have 11 dispensers on either side of you. So my idea, or the way that this system works, is that we have the hoppers that go into the top, then we have a line of hoppers that goes all the way around, and so these are for the actual locking and unlocking mechanisms. Okay, and so just like that, we have all 3 modules completed. So if you look at the size, this is about the same as this, in terms of the amount of dispensers. However, just look at the actual scale of the actual modules. These are so much smaller, and not only are they smaller, they are actually faster as well. The cool thing about this thing is, if you look at what is actually full, so we have tons of shulker boxes being dispensed, but in terms of what's full, we still have so much storage space. And that includes this hopper as well. We have easily, like, double, maybe triple the amount of space possible. With this configuration, it's able to store pretty much an infinite amount of items. Because you can always just, like, add another layer, and then just move this locking system up. It's really easy to add more storage, which I find very cool. So, does it actually work? Let's find out. So what we just saw was a Shulkerbox get stuck on this lip, and the reason why it didn't immediately get sucked in by the hoppers was because our resetting sequence actually blocks these hoppers at like the perfect time. So what we're gonna do to solve this is we're just gonna grab some repeaters. So we just have an 8-tick delay down here, and that should stop it from, yeah, plenty of time. Okay, so that should fix that issue. Okay, here we go. Time for the final test. So let's say we want light blue shulker boxes. These should all be empty. They are. Very nice. We'll flick this lever. You'll see the light blue shulker boxes all get dispensed over there and brought to the actual dispensing system. They quickly get dispensed, which is so much nicer to see than the slower old version. So these are all fully accessible. You know, you can mess around with them, whatever. And then yeah, once you hear that clicking, you can turn off the machine. These will all continue to get dispensed. And just like that, these are all 33 of your shulker boxes. So like I mentioned earlier, you don't actually need 33. So the nice thing about this system is that it's actually really easy to expand. You just need more shulker boxes in these chests. Let's say we wanted more, you know, we could always just add more. So now, the test of if it resets well. You press this button, they all get broken, they all get taken into the hoppers, dispensed back up here, and they should only filter into this one. So we should see a row of 9 at the end. So right now I think they're all filtering into here. Then this should be 9. Nice, perfect. So to use it, do not touch the lectern until you've waited a little bit after resetting, because the shulker boxes do need time to get back into this chest, which can take like 10-15 seconds depending on the position. But yeah, basically just give it time before you start changing pages, because once you start changing pages, they can filter into the wrong chests, which can be a pain to fix. So now say we want the purple shulker boxes. We just flick the lever. You'll see they get dispensed over there, all 33 of them. Then yeah, they slowly start filtering in, and just like that, we have all of our shulker boxes. This is such a cool system. I absolutely love this. But if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. The growth on the channel in the last month has been absolutely amazing. I'm so glad you've been enjoying my videos. It really means a lot. But enough is enough. It's been a long video. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye bye.